Playmates, I got a special guest here in the studio representing K1 Britannia. I got Edith Hakkens in the house. How you doing, Edith?
I'm fine, thanks, Tegan. How are you?
I'm good. Now remind me of your position again, because I know you've been with K1 Britannia for a long time, but you've probably been moving up in the ranks. Have you made it to Queen of Britannia yet?
I wish. I mean, right now I'm a program manager, and I've managed quite a few different programs, but right now my focus has been on our disaster relief and crisis team.
And speaking of which, I hear that you're looking to recruit more volunteers so that we can have more assistance during disasters here on the island.
That is correct. We are looking for more volunteer members for the team.
And how are you going about that?
Well, we have had the volunteers that we've had now via a survey where we just kind of gauged interest. Then we did our own recruitment meetings, and since then we've had quite a few volunteers gone through training. So right now we try to focus on recruiting within those circles of people that our members already know are dependable and might show an interest in this field, but we are also opening it up to the general public so that persons who are interested can find out some more information and then be invited to have an individual meeting with us afterwards.
Now, if people are curious, what kind of work is entailed when you volunteer for disaster relief if they don't know?
Well, for our disaster relief and crisis team, we try to be as holistic as possible. So all our volunteers receive a basic level of different fields. So for the medical field, everybody does CPR, first aid, and learning to use an AED. And then
what's an AED? I saw that.
An AED is a automated defibrillator. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like the thing you shaky, and then you put it on, clear, and
yeah, without the shaky, we just stick it on, and
so it's not like the movies.
Not exactly.
But that's an impressive skill to have, because as we all know, one of the biggest things that we were short on was medical care after Irma.
Yeah, and I think K1 Direct is trying to look at where the gaps are within our disaster relief structure on the island, and that's why we started off with having all these meetings with the different emergency support functions and kind of figuring out what our role can be within that structure. And so we've identified quite a few roles with emergency support function 7, who's in charge of mass care. So we're looking at helping to man the shelters, we're looking at organizing distributions, and we're looking at first response to care institutions as our main task on St. Martin. But this team is not just a local team, it's for the region. So if we are deployed to Dominica or to Tola, for instance, where we are now having negotiations with, we might be tasked to do something else. And so it's important for us to have kind of a basis in everything so that we're able to assist wherever is needed.
So a volunteer could actually be flown out to another disaster zone in order to help.
Correct.
That's actually really empowering.
Yeah, I think what we realize is that the Caribbean in general is pretty vulnerable when it comes to tropical disasters, you know. And I think by training persons and making it available for the region, we show each other that it's kind of a camaraderie, and it's more than just, you know, what is for St. Martin is for St. Martin, and what is for Dominica is for Dominica. We're all small island developing states, and we know each other's struggles, and by helping out each other, you know, we're a stronger region.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, because we kind of just don't even really let our minds explore the fact that we can do positive and good for others off the island.
Exactly.
Like, we're really good at helping each other out, but you know, we could do so much more for other people as well. So you have distribution, you're looking at manning the shelters and doing distribution and doing medical care. Anything else that you kind of focus on when it comes to disaster relief?
I mean, so far we have done training in fire safety, which is important for the shelter management aspect. We've done psychological first aid training, which I think is, you know, applicable to any part of a disaster. We've done, like I said, the CPR, first aid, and AED, but we've also had 6 members gone on to become emergency medical responders, which is a level higher than that. We have also done trainings with the UN Disaster Assessment and Coordination Team in April, which was kind of a run-through of the entire response program.
Protocol,
you know, once you arrive at a place, to your plan of action, to all the way to a debrief and handing over tasks and reports at the end of it. And I think it gave our members from both the Curaçao team and the St. Martin team kind of more of an overall picture of what all is involved in disaster response, and that, you know, it kind of explains sometimes when you feel your role is insignificant. Once you know the whole story, you understand what a big role it is to fulfill and to be a part in making this run as smoothly as possible.
I think that's really impressive.